off in left field. Milton Bradley will be in right. Derek Lee at first base hitting third. Aramis Ramirez will be at third base batting cleanup. Kosuke Fukudome will be in center field, followed by second baseman Jeff Baker. Giovanni Soto will be behind the plate. Aaron Miles at shortstop batting eighth. And Ted Lilly pitching and batting ninth for the Cubs. And they'll be facing a knuckleballer, Charlie Hager, who really pleased Joe Torre with his performance against the Cardinals, losing 3-2, but he worked 7 innings and earned another start.
Well, as you mentioned, he had a real good ball game the other day against the St. Louis Cardinals. You know, he's going to get his second start. Starting pitching because of injuries, guys not being effective. Dodgers have been a little thin, but he had a great start the other day. And
here is the sprint pitcher profile for the 25-year-old right-hander from Plymouth, Michigan.
Well, when we talk about the repeat performance, the other day against the Cardinals, 80 pitches, 61 of them strikes for a knuckleball pitcher. He's got to keep the ball low. When it's up in the zone, it gives an opportunity for guys to hit that ball in the air. Knuckleballs tend to fly, can tend to lead to some home runs.
All right, so we're set to go. The Dodgers winning the first 2 games of this series, 7-2 on Thursday, 2-1 last night, and reach for the perfect combination of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. So we're set to go, and leading off for the Cubs is Sam Fuld, who is making his 9th start of the season. And with Alfonso Soriano really struggling, Fuld may get a lot more action, and the knuckleball by Hager is in for a called strike. Fuld, 5th time he's hit leadoff for the Cubs, hitting .304. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. And interesting, Ryan Theriot had moved into the starting role for the Cubs as the leadoff hitter, but he is unable to play today because of a bruised knee going after a base hit by Juan Pierre last night. So Theriot is out of there. And the count 2-1 to Sam Fuld. Up high, 3 balls and 1 strike. Milton Bradley following, and then Derek Lee. This is only the 3rd career start for Charlie Hager. Made one with the White Sox back in '06 before his last outing against the Cardinals. And the count is 3-2.
And you saw that. That was a fastball. In his last start against the Cardinals, only 2 pitches other than the knuckleball, the 80 he threw.
Foul back. So Charlie Hager, who lost to Chris Carpenter 3-2 and gave up 2 long shots. Albert Pujols and Rick Ankiel really sent the ball flying at Dodger Stadium in that 3-2 loss on Monday to the Cardinals. Once again, the 3-2 pitch taken for ball 4, and Sam Fuld is aboard.
Well, you talk about sending the ball flying, and that's what happened the other day. Again, when you hang that knuckleball or when it just floats up there, you hope it's against the pitcher or somebody that can't drive it out of the park. The other day, Ankiel and Pujols got a hold of it. For the Dodgers' sake, hopefully he doesn't do it to any of the main hitters today for the Cubs.
Here is switch hitting Milton Bradley, a familiar face because he played for the Dodgers in '04 and '05. And Bradley not quite reaching, honestly, what the Cubs had hoped they would get from him, hitting .254, 9 homers and 31 runs batted in.
You know, again, when you look at the average, sure, not good, but the on-base percentage is close to .400. Where he's really dropped off this year is the slugging percentage, the driving in of runs, the production from a power standpoint.
And the pitch is fouled out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Bradley is 2 for 18 on this trip. He was 0 for 4 last night, and he is, as he is wont to do, was showing up the home plate umpire Chad Fairchild when he was called out on strikes in the 9th inning. So Bradley, who always has to keep his emotions in check, getting set 0-1. Fuld on base, and the pitch is up high. The Cubs obviously not a running team. They are 14th in the National League in stolen bases with only 43. And they are tied with the Braves and the Brewers for the fewest in the league. Lou Piniella looking for his team to start to break out and hit. Pitch outside, 2-1.
Well, you know, when you have a team that is so one-dimensional like the Cubs are, they hit the ball out of the ballpark, or that's how their team is built. They haven't done that, so then when they don't do that, they look lethargic. They can't run. They don't have the personnel to create offensive situations, and that's really what's led to their Achilles heel this year.
Derek Lee, saw him on the on-deck circle, really has been the only force offensively that Lou Piniella can count on. Meanwhile, Charlie Hager has fallen behind 3-1 to Bradley after walking full to start the game. Mark Loretta, playing first base today, is holding on the runner who goes on the 3-1 pitch to throw to second, not in time. And Sam Fuld, with his first stolen base in a Cubs uniform, was running on the 3-1 pitch. The count is full to Bradley.
You see Fuld gets a good jump. He's looking in, slides head first. What I'd like to see, though, is O-Dog, Orlando Hudson, keep the tag on the runner the entire time. Fuld, as you see, he goes through the bag. Now he stays on it. His legs stay on it. But sometimes the runner will go past the bag. If the fielder keeps his glove on the runner, he's got a chance.
So now the 3-2 pitch upcoming, and Bradley strikes out on the knuckler for out number 1. Let's take a look at the Dodgers defensively, and they come in third in the league. Ramirez, Pierre, and Kemp man the outfield. Blake is at third for Call and Hudson at short and second, and Mark Loretta as at first. The battery, Brad Ausmus behind the plate. He has experience catching the knuckler, and Charlie Hager on the mound. So normally, Eric, Lou Piniella doesn't like to run, but maybe he's trying to get his team to get jump start and get something going here early. Here is Derek Lee, and what a year he's having. He takes ball 1, batting .293, 24 homers, and 83 runs batted in. And he may wind up to be the only Cub hitter that drives in that many runs all year. 2-0.
Yeah, you know, as Lou Piniella was telling us prior to the game, you know, he may be the only Cub that drives in more than 70 runs. And again, a team that was built on offense, at least going into the season. I mean, that's astounding.
Cubs have a runner in scoring position, 1 out, top of the first inning. Big swing and a miss. Is it more difficult for a Cub team struggling, Eric, to have to face a knuckleballer?
I mean, I think at this stage right now, anybody that's out there on the hill, the Cubs offense has made look like a good pitcher.
Slow hit ground ball to Call. Fuld has to go back to second. Lee is thrown out at first. There are 2 down to Aramis Ramirez.
I mean, if anything, a knuckleball pitcher maybe forces you to be more patient, forces you to wait on the ball. Now, sure, if you go up there and you start swinging wildly, then that's going to just compound the issues. But really, right now for this Cubs offense, it doesn't matter who's out there. They just haven't been able to solve anybody.
And here's a guy they really counted on this year, but he missed 50 games with a dislocated left shoulder, but hitting .291 since coming off the disabled list. Batting .317. And his production numbers normally would be much higher than 10 homers, 38 RBIs as he takes a strike.
Well, and this is the type of guy that really is the rock of your lineup. He's a guy that you can consistently put in the middle of your lineup. He's going to produce. He's going to be an RBI guy, and that's something that the Cubs have sorely missed this year.
2 down, runner at second base, and Ramirez hits a fly ball to right field. Matt Kemp is there, and that'll do it. Leadoff walk, and a stolen base goes by the boards. The Cubs don't score. The Dodgers coming up in the first. Dodgers, brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Rafael Furcal, Juan Pierre batting second, playing in center field. Manny Ramirez, Casey Blake hitting cleanup. Matt Kemp batting fifth. Orlando Hudson in the sixth slot. Mark Loretta, you saw at first base. He'll be batting seventh. Brad Ausmus, the catcher, eighth. Charlie Hager, the ninth. And facing Ted Lilly, the left-hander, who with a chance to become the first Cub pitcher with 10 wins on the year. Randy Wells had that chance last night. Pitched well, but could not get it done. Fly ball to center field. Fukudome, plenty of room, makes the catch. One pitch, one out for the Dodgers in the first inning. Here's Ted Lilly. So Lilly, in his first start back from the disabled list on Monday, pitched 6 scoreless innings against San Diego, had no decision, but comes in 3-0 lifetime against the Dodgers.
And believe it or not, he started his career with the Los Angeles Dodgers, a minor league player, traded away. The Cubs' lone representative on the All-Star team this year. He's got to keep Furcal Pierre off of the bases, and he cannot let the Dodgers get too far ahead because, again, it all revolves around this Cubs offense and their inability to come back.
So here is Juan Pierre with Aramis Ramirez at third and Derek Lee at first, playing in for the bunt, and the fastball for a strike to Pierre, who comes in hitting .320 with 26 runs batted in. And strike two. Ted Lilly beat the Dodgers and Chad Billingsley at Wrigley Field on May 29th for a win there. He has not had much run support. And the breaking ball, 1-2 the count. And a very good profile that you sketched out on our Sprint pitcher profile for the left-hander. 1-2, and first and third moving back in their respective positions. Foul out of play, and the count remains a ball and 2 strikes to Juan Pierre, and a good catch made by a front row fan. Dodgers with back-to-back wins for the first time since August 10th and 11th by virtue of their 2 victories in this series. And the ball plumps Juan Pierre, and he'll go down to first base. So that's as bad as a walk when you consider that Pierre has 23 stolen bases, tied for 8th in the league, and there he goes.
Yeah, this pitch just gets away from Ted Lilly. No intent there at all. And the last thing he wants to do is put Juan Pierre down at first base. Manny coming up. Again, that's the thing with this Dodger offense. If the top of the order can get going, it makes things a lot easier for Manny and the rest of the bunch in the middle of the lineup.
First time Lilly has hit a man this year, and now he faces Manny Ramirez, who in the 2 games of the series is 4 for 8. And that's an improvement because prior to Thursday, he hit .192, 5 for 26 with 1 run batted in. And he had been in a slump. Big cut and a miss. Strike one, and looked like Manny was going for the bleachers.
Again, Manny, obviously you want the production, but even when he's in the lineup and he's not producing, he still is a presence. Pitchers have to worry about him. And still, when they're planning on attacking the Dodger offense, it really revolves all around what are they going to do with Manny.
And he's had some solid power games against Ted Lilly in the past. Throw to first base, and picked off at first is Juan Pierre, who was leaning the wrong way. And so Ted Lilly picks off Juan Pierre for out number 2.
Well, you see Juan Pierre was ready to go. Watch him now. Look at that. That's not just a lead. That's okay, I think I'm heading out. Ted Lilly, a nice job. He's a little excited there.
So Pierre is out, and there are 2 gone, and the count, no balls and a strike to Manny Ramirez. And fouled out of play, and Lilly is ahead of Manny, no balls and 2 strikes.
You see Juan right there. I mean, sure, you hate to get picked off, but again, his game is being aggressive. It's going out there and making things happen. He's not going to be safe every time. And Ricky Henderson used to say, look, if you don't get picked off once in a while, then you're not doing your job as a base runner.
And against a crafty left-hander like Ted Lilly, you are taking your chances.
Absolutely right.
So Pierre rolled the dice and lost. And a roller to the right side. Derek Lee fields it. Covering first is Lilly, and that'll retire the side. The Dodgers don't score, and after one, here at Dodger Stadium, Cubs and Dodgers, no score. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by Ford, we speak car, we speak the all-new Ford Taurus. We move to the second inning, and young fans in the audience here enjoying a Saturday afternoon. Kosuke Fukudome fouling off the first pitch from Charlie Hager. Comes in hitting .277 with 11 homers and 45 runs batted in. And his 11 home runs has already surpassed his total of last season. Gets a piece of the knuckler, no balls and 2 strikes. Humidity 65%, very high for here at this time of year. Or I guess any time of year, Eric.
Yeah, no, this is, wasn't expecting this today. That's why I voted for the coat and tie.
Yeah. You know, they used to have elections like this in the old Soviet Union. And this is a long time before Glasnost. And strike 3, and Fukudome is out of there, where they would just announce the results of elections without people voting. Right now, let's send it to Chris Rose. How did you vote, Chris?
I voted for coat and tie, as always, because I like to steam. It's like 102 degrees down here on my forehead if you'd like to fry an egg. Guys, I talked to Brad Ausmus, who's in his 17th season of catching in the big leagues. I said, what's the key to catching the knuckleball? He said, basically pray. He is actually using a mitt that he used to catch with Steve Sparks down there in Houston, and it was a gift from Sparks. That's a nice little gift. Now, it's not your ordinary catcher's mitt. I said, is it more like a first baseman's mitt? He said, think of it as though if a catcher's mitt had a baby with a first baseman's mitt. That's what it looks like. Not the best visual I'm going to ever give you, but that's how he described it, and he's an Ivy Leaguer, so I'm going to listen to him.
You're just quoting him, that's all, Chris.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Jeff Baker, the batter, 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch up high, 2-1. And the Cubs like this guy, Jeff Baker, who Lou Piniella said, for all intents and purposes, is going to be his second baseman. Mike Fontenot had been the regular at that position, but Baker has done well since coming on over from the Colorado Rockies on a trade made July the 2nd. He's hitting .279, 2 homers, 14 runs batted in, had a 10-game hitting streak snapped last night. Swings and misses, and the count is full, 3-2.
Well, you see what Baker's done with the Chicago Cubs, hitting .321. Now it's a far cry from what he was doing in Colorado, but not getting a lot of playing time with the Rockies.
And a foul ball down the left field line. So the count remains 3-2. Charlie Hager comes in with an 0-1 record and a 3.86 earned run average in 7 innings. Called up August the 12th from Albuquerque and was the leading winner in the Pacific Coast League. Was 11-6 and a 3.55 earned run average. So Baker, 28 years old in his 5th season, played his college ball at Clemson in the ACC. Here's the 3-2 by Hager, inside ball 4. So that is the second walk given up by Charlie Hager. And it'll bring up Giovanni Soto.
Well, that's the thing, as a knuckleball pitcher, when you do give up the free passes, that's where you got to make sure you don't hang that next pitch to the following hitter, because instead of just a solo shot, it becomes 2 or 3 runs. That's what happened the other night. Ankiel, hitter ahead of him, got hit, and then Ankiel hits a 2-run shot.
There are the numbers on Giovanni Soto. And hits a shot. Orlando Hudson, double play. So a line drive right to Hudson and doubles off Baker, and that'll do it for the Cubs in the second. Bud Light Lime, the drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime. No score into the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Casey Blake, Matt Kemp, and Orlando Hudson against left-hander Ted Lilly. Here is Blake with 14 homers, 68 runs batted in. Third on the Dodgers in home runs, and he takes down low ball 1. And we were talking, Eric, about how Blake really has been a superb man for the Dodgers in the clubhouse, among other things.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the stability he brings out on the field, but his presence in the clubhouse. He's a no-nonsense guy, but likes to have fun. But when he comes to the park, he's ready to play. He's really had an impact on Matt Kemp and his maturation as both a person and a player. One of the leaders on this ball club.
Talk about Manny Ramirez acquisition last year, and Casey Blake, in many ways, foul ball down the left field line. A lot of people don't talk about that. Let that one get away. Fortunately, the Dodgers players between the lines are doing much better in the fielding department, coming in third in the league.
Well, one of the reasons they've had such a successful year, the pitching and the defense.
Here's the 1-2. Reaching out and lifting it out to right field. Milton Bradley coming over and makes the catch, and Blake is retired for the first out. And that will bring up Matt Kemp. And here are today's 4 keys to the game.
For the Cubs, it's simple. They have got to hit. I mean, again, you know, Lou Piniella sat in the office and said, we just haven't scored any runs. They've got to catch the ball. Last night, an error by Aramis Ramirez gave the Dodgers an opportunity. They're next to last or at the bottom as far as fielding goes. The Dodgers, you know, the starting pitching, Hager has got to throw well today. You know, they've been getting to the bullpen early. Wolf threw well, but they haven't been getting a lot of great starts. And for me, Rafael Furcal, really the igniter of this Dodger offense.
Matt Kemp hasn't done that badly, and he takes ball 1. Kemp batting .312, comes in 9th in the National League in hitting. 17 home runs and 76 RBIs, which matches his career high. And a call strike. Andre Ethier getting the day off. So Ethier, who is amongst the leaders in runs batted in with 83 and has hit 25 homers and has been the author of a lot of heroics in the late innings, not playing, as is James Loney, sitting this one out. And that makes sense, the left-handed hitter against the southpaw.
There's Andre right there. He's had a great year so far. Hitting the home runs, getting the clutch base hits. Has struggled against the lefties. That's why he's getting the day off today.
2-1 pitch on the outside corner. The breaking pitch, backdoor variety. Evens the count 2-2 to Matt Kemp. Dodgers are 17-18 since the All-Star break. And that's down low. On June the 3rd, they were 9.5 games up. But let's move forward to the last week of July. They had a 9-game lead, and then they lost 4 straight. That Dodgers hadn't lost as many as 3 in a row all year. Lost 4 in a row. And then 15 of the next 24 until they won the 2 games against the Cubs. So they're trying to right the ship. And they still lead the division by 4.5. 3-2 pitch to Matt Kemp. And a high drive to left field. And way back and gone. Boy, when you hang a knuckler, that's what happens. And Matt Kemp, with his 18th home run of the year, giving the Dodgers a 1-0 lead.
You know, I've seen a lot of home runs here at Dodger Stadium, and we've even seen a few go out of the stadium. And I'm going to say right there, that thing was about as far as any ball that I've ever seen hit here at Dodger Stadium.
Obviously a fastball, and the knuckler on the other side as Ted Lilly giving up his 10th home run of the year.
Well, I'll tell you what, that went farther than a knuckler would go. That thing was absolutely crushed.
1-0 in favor of the Dodgers, and here's Orlando Hudson, switch hitting second baseman and hitting .293. And ball 1 to Hudson.
Matt Kemp excited, getting the handshake down.
Two balls and no strikes to Hudson.
And you see the contact is made, that right elbow tucked into the body, gets that front arm extended. I mean, when you're talking about pure athletes on the baseball field today, Matt Kemp is the best. And what he has as far as his ability and what he still can do as far as what he can achieve, I mean, Dodger fans are excited.
3 balls and a strike to Hudson. And talking about Kemp's athletic ability, he won back-to-back high school state championships in basketball in his home state of Oklahoma. And he played against some pretty good NBA stars, Carmelo Anthony and Chris Bosh in high school. And Hudson swings and misses, and it's 3-2. Full count to Hudson with 1 out. Kemp with a home run And now with 77 RBIs, and that is a career high for Matt, giving the Dodgers the lead. Out of play to the right. Pretty high up among center fielders.
Well, and you know what's amazing is he has accomplished this hitting in a number of different spots in the lineup. He's hit anywhere from first to eighth and has continued to be consistent and productive all year long.
Hudson strikes out. That is the first strikeout for Ted Lilly, and there are two gone. And that will bring up Mark Loretta. Mark Loretta, 38-year-old journeyman, has been a valuable guy no matter where he's played. Making his 21st start of the year. 226 with 22 runs batted in for Loretta.
Well, he started off real hot, over 300. And, he's run into a bit of a dry spell, but he can fill so many roles for you. He could play short, he could play third, he could play second. Come off the bench as a right-handed hitter.
Strike one to Loretta. The Angels defeated the Blue Jays 7-3 today, so both Los Angeles teams in first place. Dodgers by 4.5, and now the Angels by 5, and a drive hit deep to left center field and up against the wall, and making the catch is Sam Fuld. Great play by Fuld to retire the side, but Matt Kemp puts the Dodgers in front, knocking this fastball into the left field stands, and we'll return to Los Angeles after a word from your local Fox station. League baseball. Dodgers leading 1-0 on Matt Kemp's home run, and the Cubs will bring up their number 8 hitter Aaron Miles. Playing at shortstop today. Miles, a switch hitter, has struggled since coming off the disabled list after suffering a hyperextended right elbow. His second stint on the DL this year. Takes the pitch inside, ball one. Miles is hitting 181 and 168 as a left-handed hitter. Now that's a far cry from his 317 season with the Cardinals last year. It really fit into Tony La Russa's style of playing hard and hustling, whatever position you play.
Yeah, I mean, Cubs thought they were going to get a lot more. Mark DeRosa, they let go, didn't attempt to keep him, and Aaron Miles was going to be the guy that could kind of spell that role, and he has just absolutely struggled all year long.
Know that the Cardinals were really disappointed that they did not keep Miles. Very pleased with Mark DeRosa. Pitches outside. Aaron Miles, Giovanni Soto, both coming off the disabled list and still trying to find the groove.
Well, and you see that. I mean, it's
2-2 pitch hit out to left field. Manny Ramirez makes the play, and there's one away.
It's not uncommon for a guy to have a bad year, two guys to have less than career years. But for the Cubs, it's been Miles, it's been Soto. Bradley's got a slugging percentage of under 400. Soriano is having career lows. I mean, when you have 4 or 5 guys that you were going to count on, I mean, it's an anchor to your team.
Here's Ted Lilly, batting .071, takes ball 1. Well, the Cubs scored 7 runs Wednesday in the series finale at San Diego, but they have scored only 10 runs in the last 6. Not counting that 7-run game. Ground ball hit by Lilly to Hudson, who makes the play for out number 2. So we've got 2 of the senior great managers today, and Lou Piniella and Joe Torre, both managing over 20 years. 5th and 14th at all-time wins, 5 world championships between them, and 5 manager of the year honors. So a distinguished duo of managers working in the respective dugouts today. 2 down to Sam Fuld, who led off the first with a walk and stole second, and hits a short hopper to Furcal, recovers, throws not in time. It's a tough play for Furcal to handle, though it was hit right at him. And Fuld is aboard.
Well, Furcal does the right thing. The ball is hit to him. He tries to keep it in front of him. What hurt him is the ball bounced too far away for him to be able to just pick it up barehanded and use that strong arm. When the ball kicked away as far as it did, he did not have a chance, but absolutely the right way to approach that play.
So for Furcal's era, his 16th of the year, 2-out base runner for the Cubs, and here's Milton Bradley. Strikeout victim his first time up. Ball 1. So this is where Brad Ausmus earns his keep with a runner at first base to avoid having the Cubs get another runner in scoring position. They did in the first inning.
And absolutely, this is a time where you've just got to steal. You got to take your chances, get your guy down to second base, put him in scoring position. Even if he's thrown out, you have Milton Bradley leading off the next inning. And again, he's had a very, very good year as far as getting on base, close to 400.
Switch hitter, but batting right-handed against the righty. And a theory of switch hitters going against knucklers. Fuld takes off, and here's the throw by Ausmus. Not in time. So Sam Fuld with his second stolen base of the game. And the Cubs, who are trailing, have a runner in scoring position.
Again, the Cubs trying to make something happen. Absolutely the right play. You see Fuld hustling down there, that head-first slide. Brad Ausmus doesn't really have an opportunity there. Again, Cubs have a runner in scoring position. All they need a base hit, score a run.
Mentioned Bradley hitting .319 as a right-handed batter, only .226 as a lefty. And batting righty against the knuckleballer, takes the big cut and misses, and it's 2-1.
Again, with a knuckleball pitcher as a hitter, you want to spread out, get on top of the plate, and all you're trying to do is just make contact. You're not trying to drive the ball out of the park. Trust me, if you get a hold of that thing, it'll go.
Fuld with the lead at second with 2 down, and a strike slider on the outside corner, and the count is even in 2-2. As you look at Milton Bradley raising his average, but the production numbers, despite the fewer games since the All-Star break, not what the Cubs would like. And a ground ball hit to Furcal makes the play, and that will do it. There was an error, stolen base in the middle of the third, 1-0 the Dodgers. Lilly here in the third inning. The Dodgers leading 1-0. And a strike to Ausmus, making his 21st start behind the plate, batting .312 with 8 runs batted in. Ausmus will be followed by Charlie Hager, the pitcher, and the top of the order, Rafael Furcal. And a fly ball hit deep to left field. Sam Fuld going back on the track, and Fuld has made another great catch. Sam Fuld, who made a catch off the wall in left center field, makes a great one here against the screen after a long run to rob Brad Ausmus of extra bases.
We see Fuld going after this, having really no regard for his body. Makes the catch and then goes awkwardly into the chain link fence. Never takes his eye off the ball. You know, as you mentioned, Dick, a great catch earlier in the game, gets a mouthful of fence right there. Last night made a great play against Manny Ramirez. 8th inning, Manny thinks he got a hold of this ball. Fuld gets back and he robs one. Doing it center, doing it left. Gets showing Lou Piniella he wants to be out there every single day.
And offensively already has been on base twice and has 2 stolen bases. So perhaps a spark plug. And Brad Ausmus says, what more can I do? So there's one away. Charlie Hager, the pitcher, 0 for 2 as a batter. Missing inside with a fastball. Here's another look at that catch. And sliding.
Look at that.
His
mouthful
head
of
hit
fence.
the screen.
Yeah, mouthful. You asked Brad Ausmus what more could he do. Hit it another 7 feet.
Hager misses the fastball, and it's 1-1. Well, the Cubs trailing 1-0, but making some sparkling plays thanks to Sam Fuld in left field. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Dodger pitcher. Boy, he's working on his sunglasses. Might have been broken. He's got dirt all over his uniform. Here's the 1-2 pitch, strike 3, and Hager goes down. Second strikeout for Ted Lilly. Caught up with the Cubs manager Lou Piniella, and of course he said last night's loss was painful, but a bunch of runs would cure that in a hurry.
Like to see your offense do is put some runs on the board and give your pitchers a little lead to work with. But it's been hard. It's been hard for us on this West Coast swing, I can tell you that. We swung the bat really well in San Diego the last ball game, and outside of that, it's been a struggle.
Well, you've had the struggles, Lou, but you're still only 5 games back in the loss column. I mean, what makes you think that you're going to get right back in this thing and win this division?
Well, we don't come out west anymore except for San Francisco towards the end of September. We're going to be closer to home. We've got a lot more games at home than we do on the road, and hopefully we can put together a nice streak and get back in this thing.
Lou, don't shave until you win 10 in a row.
I'd love to do that. Believe me, I'd like to have a beard longer than Ryan Franklin that closes for the Cardinals.
Thanks for being with us.
All right, thanks.
Tell you one thing, he is always, now we know he's been different, you know, with kicking dirt and going after umpires on the field, but he really has a great disposition.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, and, you know, when we went into his office prior to the game, I mean, he was upbeat. He was realistic, but he felt like, look, we get our pitching down, we'll be fine.
And the bunt by Furcal, and Lee may have had a shot at it, let it drop, and it went foul. So all it is a strike, and Furcal will have to come back to the plate with the count 1-2.
Well, a smart play defensively when you decide not to go for the ball, because once you decide not to try to make a play on it as far as catching it, you have to let it drop and then hope it rolls foul. That's what they did. Fortunately for the Cubs, Furcal's not on first base.
Derek Lee, of course, has won 3 Gold Gloves, so kind of knows what he's doing at first base. Count is 1-2 to Furcal, who fly to center his first time up. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Dodgers shortstop. Ted Lilly, 33-year-old, native of Torrance, California. Now lives in Redondo Beach and misses with the breaking ball, and the count is full to Furcal. Ted Lilly, 17-game winner last year, a career high. looking for his 10th win of the year. He's dropped 7. And a fly ball hit to Bradley in right field and makes the catch. Looked like he lost sight of it for the moment. A 1-2-3 inning for Ted Lilly, but Brad Osmus robbed by Sam Fuld, crashing into the screen for the first out. On by Zantac. Heartburn, attack it, Zantac, and by Chevy. So a beautiful day on the West Coast and a good day for the beaches as Derek Lee leads off for the Cubs in the 4th inning against Charlie Hager. Takes a call strike. Lee bounced to short his first time up. Sam Fuld just trying to catch his breath in the dugout, and a call strike 2 to Derek Lee. In the last 81 games after a very slow start this year is hitting .325 with 21 homers. 1-2 now to Lee. Will be followed by Ramos Ramirez and Kosuke Fukudome, the 3, 4, 5 hitters in the Cub lineup today. Two balls and 2 strikes. Charlie Hager made 4 appearances last year for San Diego, and his earned run average was over 16. Pitched 2 years with the White Sox, and a shot up the middle and a base hit, so Derek Lee can handle the knuckleball, and a base hit up the middle. Leadoff hit for the Cubs here in the 4th. And now for a DirecTV game break, here's Chris Rose.
Would be the Angels. Hello there. That would be Adam Lynn, his 25th homer of the year. But what about Vladimir Guerrero, his 403rd career homer? 1,300 career RBIs now for Vlad. Angels win it 7-3. They now have a 6-game lead in the AL West. And remember to follow your favorite out-of-market team only on DirecTV. Dick, back to you.
We will do that, Chris. And, of course, Texas, the team that is trailing the Angels, of course, chasing the Boston Red Sox. And a very tight race for the American League wild card as Aramis Ramirez swings and misses for strike 1. Right now, Texas 1 game behind Boston. So you know the Red Sox and the Yankees are battling right now on our other Fox telecast. So we'll have some updates on that as well. Ball strike 2. So Hager gets ahead of Ramirez 0-2. Derek Lee, the runner at first base, the first base hit of the game for the Cubs. Goes after a pitch high, and Ramirez strikes out on a fastball eye high for out number one.
Well, as you mentioned, this pitch up in the zone, and again, when it's up in the zone, it's that old adage: if it's high, let it fly; if it's low, let it go. It was up there, it just didn't come down at all, and Ramirez swings through it.
So here's Fukudome, who took a call third strike his first time up. 3 strikeouts and 2 walks so far by Charlie Hager. And Derek Lee with the leadoff single. Cubs managed only 1 hit, a season's low last night. And a great pitching performance by Randy Wolf. Throw to first base and diving back as Lee, giving up 1 hit in 7 innings. And very quietly, Randy Wolf is maybe the most reliable pitcher that Joe Torre can count on.
Well, that's probably the best word used to describe Randy Wolf and what he's done this year is reliable. And counted on to go out there, give you a good 6 or 7 innings.
First pitch to the plate is a strike to Fukudome.
And his last 2 starts has really swung the bat well. Last night he had a 2-run double. Accounted for all of the Dodgers scoring. The prior game he had 3 hits, I believe. And so Randy Wolf in a stretch right now, man, swinging the bat and pitching well.
0-1. Fukudome fouls it at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. And last night, Randy Wolf, 7 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, struck out 5, and as you mentioned, helped the team at the plate. Drove in the Dodgers' only 2 runs with a 2-run double in the 2nd inning. So Randy Wolf, who today is celebrating his 33rd birthday, as is Jeff Weaver, the winning pitcher on Thursday. They played against each other in the Little League and again in college. And their mothers still talk to each other on the phone every once in a while. Fukudome takes a big cut and misses. So after the leadoff single by Lee, Ramirez and Fukudome go out on strikes, and there are 2 down. Well, Fox Sports is proud to support the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research. The Michael J. Fox Foundation's goal is to drive the development of better treatments and a cure for Parkinson's. To learn more, please visit michaeljfox.org. Jeff Baker drew a walk his first time up and then was doubled off when Soto lined to Hudson. The count to him is 1-0. So Baker's been one of the pleasant stories for the Cubs this year. In there for the strike, 1-1. Cubs have lost 11 of 15 since August the 5th, and that was the date, and you talked about earlier that they were tied with the Cardinals for first place in the NL Central. At that time, they were a season's best 9 over 500. And then the things started to fall apart. Of course, having Ted Lilly and Carlos Zambrano going on the disabled list kind of took away a lot of the momentum for the Cubs.
And that's why Lou Piniella feels they are capable of getting back in this thing of winning the division, because they will have, with the return of Carlos Zambrano, an opportunity to win every single night with the starting pitching that they have. Again, this time of the year, starting pitching is what separates clubs from one another. And the Cubs are poised at least to have an opportunity to win each and every night. Now, whether they do, that'll probably depend a lot on that offense.
Well, Eric, a big edge also will be the schedule. After Sunday, 24 of their last 40 games will be at the friendly confines, where they have a gaudy 35-22 record. And of the 24 games at Wrigley Field to finish the year, 23 of them are against teams that are playing under 500 ball.
Yeah, well, that's the positive part. The only negative part is they only face the Cardinals 3 more times the rest of the year.
Throw to first, and Lee gets back. And, of course, you always want to have enough games against the teams you have to chase in case it comes down to having to win while they lose.
Yeah, I mean, you just feel like going head to head, you know, at least you can knock them out, and you don't want to have to rely on other teams to help you.
And Baker strikes out. So after the leadoff single by Lee, Hager strikes out the side, and Manny Ramirez will be up second for the Dodgers when they come up in the bottom of the fourth, leading the Cubs 1-0. Juan Pierre starting the bottom of the fourth for the Dodgers from Ted Lilly takes a strike. Pierre was hit by a pitch and then was picked off at first base by Lilly. Ramirez in at third base looking for the bunt, and Pierre swinging away, lifts it out to Fukudome in center field. Plenty of room, makes the catch for out number one. That'll bring up Manny Ramirez.
Manny Ramirez.
Well, we take a look at how Ted Lilly goes after Manny Ramirez. Basically going after him with stuff high in the zone, then throws a pitch low and away. Derek Lee makes a nice play. As we saw the first at bat here, stuff up in the zone, out of the strike zone.
So with one out, Manny Ramirez, who was a major force in the Dodgers sweep of the Cubs in the divisional series last October. Lilly's first pitch, fastball fouled back. In that three-game series, Manny was 5 for 10, hit 2 home runs. And that was part of the big wave of Manny Woodall coming in to the Dodgers, the acquisition, and leading the Dodgers into the National League Championship Series. Coming back from the 50-game suspension inflicted by Major League Baseball, and the pitch rides inside 1-1.
Well, we talk about Manny as a hitter, also a clubhouse presence. The other day he goes up to Russell Martin, who the previous night hit a grand slam against these Cubs. Goes up to Russell, says, hey, you know, great job, blah, blah, blah. And Russell's thinking, yeah, well, you know, this is what I did. Manny says, you know what? You did that last night. Doesn't mean anything today.
And you know what? He's right.
Yep, absolutely.
Here's the 1-1 from Lilly. And in tight, 2 balls and 1 strike. And how true You know, you talk to Tony La Russa of the Cardinals, and you think it's a kind of a wise guy answer. When you say, how you doing today? He'll say, I'll let you know in about 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, you know, Manny going up to Russell Martin has struggled this year. And, you know, Russell was feeling pretty good about himself. And Manny just shot him right down. Doesn't mean anything today.
Here's the 2-1 from Lilly. And a drive to left field, but hooking foul. And all that will do is even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, long strike, but again, watch that right elbow. Gets close to the body, able to pull his hands in and get that extension.
Nobody on base, 1 out in the Dodger 4th. And Manny hits a fly ball to right center field. Calling for it is Fukudome in right center. And looks up into the sun and makes the catch for out number 2. And now another direct TV game break. Here's Chris Rose.
All right, Dick, Manny's old team, the Red Sox, putting it on the Yankees. The U guys, 21st of the year. The teams combined for 31 runs last night. It's already 7-zip. So Mark Sanchez has got to get that New York offense in gear. Remember to follow your favorite out-of-market team only on DirecTV. Guys?
Boy, you shifted sports pretty fast with the Jets.
Well,
okay.
Don't worry, I'll be doing my share of Lions and Rams games by November. Don't worry.
Hey, you get to see Stafford. That'll be good for you.
Every game's a good one. 1-0 the count to Casey Blake, who flied to right his first time up, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Talk about the Red Sox needing a win after those losses they've suffered 5 in a row to the Yankees. Cubs may be in that same position, but a drive by Casey Blake to left field. Fold is back there, won't get it. Not this time. Blake with his 15th home run of the year. The Dodgers lead it 2-0. Home runs by Matt Kemp and Casey Blake. Blake's coming with 2 out here in the 4th. And that will bring Matt Kemp to the plate. Kemp with a deep home run to left field, closer to the foul pole than Blake's was, and a call strike to Kemp.
Well, Casey Blake, as we mentioned earlier, just stable all year, gets the extension. Obviously not as far as Kemp, but just as effective.
The 0-1 to Kemp. And that misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. And we told you about the 33-year-old birthdays today for Weaver and Wolf. Well, Casey Blake with an early celebration. He turns 36 tomorrow. 1-1, slice to right field. Milton Bradley shading his eyes, and that'll do it. But a 2-out home run, giving the Dodgers a 2-0 lead. Casey Blake, 15 homers now, 69 runs driven in. Hit home runs in support of the knuckleballer Charlie Hager, who misses in his first pitch to Giovanni Soto. Hager has struck out 5 and struck out the side after the single by Lee last inning. Falls behind 2-0 to Soto, who lined into a double play Hudson to Loretta his first time. Swings at the 2-0 pitch, lifts it out to right center field, and the running catch made by Matt Kemp for out number 1. Well, we had a chance to talk to Dodger manager Joe Torre. Of course, George Sherrill, a big acquisition in the bullpen for the Dodgers, and now Vicente Padilla has been almost ready to be called up by the Dodgers.
Yeah, he'll be pitching at some point for us, Dick, and you know, we like his arm. He pitched against us a game earlier this year with Texas, was very effective. But again, at this time of year, you know, you're looking to win games here, win there. You know, like early in the year, you're thinking more long term. Right now, we're thinking, you know, let's win 3 or 4 games in a row, and we'll go from there.
Charlie Hager, a great start the other day against the Cardinals. Pretty good 4 innings right here. Where's he been all year?
Well, he was with us in spring training, Eric, and I tell you, I thought initially he wasn't predominantly a knuckleball pitcher. I mean, I knew he threw like 50%, but you know, he's throwing 95% knuckleballs, and you know, I can't believe how many balls he's thrown over the plate for strikes, and I think that's and I think you saw it with the leadoff hitter in the game. He goes 3-2, and he's going to throw him a knuckleball, so he's pretty confident with that thing.
Hey, Joe, Lou Piniella hasn't shaven either. I said, you're going to shave after 10 straight wins. What's your plan?
Well, when my wife tells me I'm going to shave, so it'll be after the game. Trust me, we're going to dinner tonight.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, thanks.
All right, we know of one manager who will shave after the game. We don't know about Lou. The count is 2 balls and no strikes to Aaron Miles. 1 out here in the Cubs' 5th inning, and a call strike.
One of the rare times Hager does not throw a knuckleball. We saw in his last start against the Cardinals only 2 fastballs, one to the pitcher Chris Carpenter, the other to shortstop Brendan Ryan.
Charlie Hager, of course, talk about his knuckleball career. The White Sox suggested he return and get out of baseball and throw only knuckleballs. He returned home to Michigan and played golf at Madonna University in Livonia, Michigan. He worked on pitching the knuckleball and worked with Charlie Huff this spring, who's one of the outstanding knuckleball hurlers, as Aaron Miles draws a walk. That is the 3rd walk issued by Hager. And the rest is history. Well, here is today's Gillette trivia question. Who are the only 3 players in Dodgers history with 5 power seasons of 30 or more home runs and 100 or more runs batted in? Ted Lilly squaring the bunt and does not offer at it, and the count 1-0. So with 1 out and a runner at first base, Sam Fuld is the on-deck batter. Lilly bounced out to Hudson at second his first time up. And the Dodgers again looking for the sacrifice. Fouls this at the plate off the foot, it appeared, of Brad Ausmus, and it's 1-1.
Well, no easy task to bunt a knuckleball. And interesting there, and Charlie Hager throws a slider or a fastball there. You'd think he'd throw the knuckleball, but what he's saying right there is, look, we'll let you bunt it back to me, I'll take the out, instead of going for the strikeout with a knuckleball.
He puts this one down nicely, and the only play for Hager is to first base. So Lilly sacrifices for the 2nd out, and Aaron Miles moves to second. 3 times today the Cubs have had a runner at scoring position, but have not been able to get him around. And here's Sam Fuld, who has distinguished himself with the glove with 2 spectacular catches, has walked and reached on an error, and has stolen 2 bases. Cubs have had a lot of trouble scoring runs, trailing 2-0 here in this 5th inning. They've managed just 3 runs in the first 2 games of this series. A call strike to Fold. Oh, 1 pitch chopped up the middle, and Hudson throw to first base in time to retire the side. So the Cubs leave their 4th man on base. They had another runner in scoring position, and we move to the bottom of the 5th here at Dodger Stadium, 2-0 LA. In 2-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the 5th. Umpiring crew today led by Wally Bell behind home plate. And Orlando Hudson, the first batter off, fouls the fastball back on the screen. Mark Carlson is at first. Marty Foster at second. Chad Fairchild is at third. Hudson struck out his first time up. Ted Lilly, 9-7 coming in, trying to become the first Cub pitcher to win 10 games. And a bouncing ball to Miles, who makes the play to retire Hudson 1 away.
First baseman, number 5, Mark Loretta.
That will bring up Mark Loretta. And Loretta robbed of extra bases by one of the 2 glittering plays made by left fielder Sam Fold for the Cubs. Back in the 2nd inning. And talk about a body scrub. How about a hair scrub by that fan?
Trying to cool off. Humid today.
Ball 1.
That's what I feel like doing right there.
You should just open that bottle and just pour it over his head. That'll get it done. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Lilly is behind, 2 balls and no strikes. So Mark Loretta, who was an all-star with the Red Sox 3 years ago, and has gone long ball against Ted Lilly, has 2 homers in his career against the Cubs southpaw, who now has fallen behind Loretta 3-0. Brad Osmus, the number 8 hitter, on deck for the Dodgers. In there for the strike, 3-1. It's amazing the history of these teams who have played over 2,000, nearly 2,030 games in National League history, and a foul at the plate. Going into the series, are you sitting down? Each team had won 1,014 games.
Thank goodness I was sitting down.
I mean, that's a shocker. When you consider over 2,000 games, they were all even at 1,014 apiece. Of course, the Dodgers have won the 2 games of the series. Cubs, they find themselves trailing by 3 if they don't come back. And there's a shot hit to left field. Sam Fuld coming on in and makes the catch for the second out. And time now to answer our Gillette trivia question. Who are the only 3 players in Dodgers history with 5 power seasons of 30 or more home runs and of 100 or more runs batted in? Duke Snider, Gil Hodges, and my partner, Eric Karros.
Wow. Did I get anything for that? Did I get a Gillette?
You know what?
Did I get some shaving cream or something?
Here's what you get.
An attaboy?
Your name next to Duke Snider
and
Gil Hodges is pretty distinguished, I think, in anyone's book.
I'll take it.
You know, for Dodger history, Eric, that's as good as it gets. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's tremendous. And, of course, you played for the Cubs as well.
Played for the Cubs, was there in 03. Was playing first base in that infamous play. Game 6 of the National League Championship Series.
Ausmus takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 down here in the Dodger 5th inning. Of course, Duke Snider and Gil Hodges, a lot of what they accomplished happened in Brooklyn, in a much smaller ballpark,
Ebbets Field.
Yep. Swing and a miss on the changeup, and it's 1-2 to Ausmus. That was some people called it a phone booth, a bandbox, call it what you will. And for the left-handed hitter Duke Snider, who they were comparing to Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle in the 50s in those days, Ausmus strikes out to end the inning. He loved Ebbets Field, right field. When he went to the Coliseum, different story his first year in L.A. With NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV. By Miller High Life, good honest beer at a tasty price. And by Cataway. Southern California, the scene as the Dodgers and the Cubs And you could tell by some of the shots of the fans in the stands that an unusually humid afternoon. That's if you're awake. Milton Bradley will start it off for the Cubs against Charlie Hager. And the magic continues. And the first pitch is taken for ball one. Bradley 0 for 2, struck out and grounded to shortstop. Charlie Hager has allowed one hit, a leadoff single by Derek Lee in the 4th inning. And it's now 1-1. Bradley will be followed by Lee and then Aramis Ramirez here in the 6th inning. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bradley. Charlie Hager looking for his first win in a Dodger uniform. Made a first career start with the White Sox against the Angels in 2006. And then on Monday night, worked 7 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 home runs in a losing effort, but it impressed Joe Torre enough to say that when it can fit in, Charlie's going to be out on the mound again. Behind 3-1 here, and a call strike evens it at 3-2 or makes it a full count. And a fly ball hit to left center field. Coming on over is Juan Pierre. Makes a running catch for the out. Covers a lot of ground out there, does Juan Pierre. 1 gone for the Cubs here in the 6th. Well, last night at Dodger Stadium, a kickoff to the Dodgers Think Cure weekend. And this is a major situation for the Dodgers every year. The ceremonial first pitch thrown out by 25 doctors dedicated to cancer research. Second annual radio telewebathon raised $183,000 so far, and that's as of this morning, and continues through tonight. Bud Selig, baseball commissioner, donated $25,000 thanks to him. And also opportunities for fans to donate at the stadium as well as online memorabilia auction at thinkcure.org. And Eric Carroll's very much involved last night and has been for years.
Yeah, the Dodgers started this. Last year they raised over $600,000, and it's something really that originated from the McCourt family, the owners. There you saw Mr. McCourt right there. And what it does, not only does it raise money, it raises awareness, and there's so many things that you can do, whether it's the donating of money, there's auction items, and it benefits the City of Hope and the Children's Hospital. And it's really about a collaborative effort to try and find a cure for cancer. And as we all know, every one of us has been impacted by cancer one way or another, whether it's a family member, a friend. We're all trying to battle and beat this disease.
It is the Dodgers charity, and thank you, Eric, for your role in it. And Derek Lee striking out and not happy with a few words for Wally Bell, slowly walking back to the dugout.
Well, doesn't like that pitch, and actually it's not a bad pitch. As a pitcher, you want that. As a hitter, you're thinking, no way, that's outside. But again, because Charlie Hager has been around the plate with his knuckleball today, he'll get the benefit of the doubt.
That is a 6th strikeout for Hager, and Aramis Ramirez taking strike 1. And Mark Loretta saying that the knuckleball that Hager throws has a lot more speed to it. It's a lot faster than the Red Sox Wakefield, who throws a slower pitch. There's a ground ball through, pass for a call into left field, a base hit. So Aramis Ramirez with the second hit of the game for the Cubs. It comes with 2 away. Tim Wakefield, of course, kind of flips it up there, according to Mark, who was a teammate of his with the Red Sox. And the thing about Hager is that he throws it for strikes, as we heard Joe Torre refer to that earlier. So here is Kosuke Fukudome. Cubs with a base runner with 2 away here in the 6th inning, trailing the Dodgers 2-0. Fukudome has struck out twice today, once looking. Ball one. And one thing that Charlie Hager has given the Dodgers, Eric, is a rest for the bullpen. And we saw that Jeff Weaver worked 5 1/3 innings on Thursday as the spot starter, and Randy Wolf worked 7 last night.
Well, and that's the thing that the Dodgers have benefited from this year is their depth and being able to have guys come in and fill in. Earlier in the year, Eric Stoltz had a few starts. Obviously, Charlie Hager, his second. I mean, for me, though, Jeff Weaver has been one of the most valuable pitchers of the ball club. You know, you mentioned a start he had the other night. He's had 7 starts this year for the Dodgers and an ERA of just above 3. And this is a guy that was really an afterthought, was signed at the last minute, a minor league invite, and you know, that's one of the reasons why this Dodger ball club has been successful. There you see the Weave right there, his brother having a great season with the Angels.
And of course, Weaver was in there because of Hiroki Kuroda unable to pitch. It was his turn, and we should talk a little bit about Kuroda, and we will. Ground ball hit to Hudson at second, and the side is out. 1 hit and 1 left, and the Dodgers will come up in the 6th inning, leading the Cubs 2-0.
Using the chain link fence for some dental floss right there. Great catch. Holds on to the ball right there. Able to get up, and you know, that's his 3rd great catch this series. Saw him rob a home run last night, earlier in the game, an excellent one, and then that.
How long has he been your man?
My man when he made that 3rd catch.
Okay. Signed him up. Me and Sam. Here's Charlie Hager, who struck out his first time up, fouls it out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Ted Lilly, there's Fold with face full of screen. All Ted Lilly wants to do is keep the game at 2-0 and hope that his team can get some runs for him, something that they haven't done all that often this year. Breaking ball, it misses, and it's 1-2. Lilly has given up 2 runs on 2 hits, both home runs. Matt Kemp and Casey Blake. He has struck out 3, and now Hager is out of there, so 1 gone here in the 6th inning, and here is Rafael Furcal. Furcal has flied out twice to center and right. Joe Torre talking about him before the game, about how emotional he is and how he's so tough on himself. and really grinds.
Well, he had a great month of July, and it looked like he was going to continue the form. I mean, that's a shot right there in the left field. And that's what the Dodgers need to see at the top of the lineup. I mean, Rafael Furcal can do so many things. He doesn't steal bases like he used to, but he's still a threat to run. You see him get on top of that fastball and drive it to left field. But he still goes first to third. He can score on a base hit from second base. And really, when he's on base, he presents problems for the opposition. And that's something that the Dodgers have missed this month, and Furcal has really struggled this month.
He has reached base 27 straight games, although
it has, but he hasn't been a threat as far as hitting the ball, driving the ball at all. Even the running game for him, he doesn't steal bases like he used to, but he's a threat. You'll see that August average right there, 220. It just has not been able to get going.
Well, he has a hit. He's on at first base. First non-home run base hit by the Dodgers. And Juan Pierre with the count, no balls and 1 strike. Aramis Ramirez respecting the bunt. Dodgers trying to add to their lead against Ted Lilly here in the last of the 6th inning. Looking for their 3rd in a row. Dodgers with the best record in the National League right now, but it's been kind of close as a pitch is in for a called strike. Dodgers coming in with a record of 73-50, and the Phillies 2 games behind with the record of 69-50, so they are even in the loss column.
Well, they are, and the Dodgers have been in a bit of a lull. I wouldn't say that they're playing poorly. They obviously haven't played as well as they did earlier in the year.
Foul ball going the other way.
And again, a couple days ago, the Rockies pulled to within 3.5 games. And, a lot of people, oh my goodness, the Rockies are back in this. And right now, the Rockies are in a stretch where they're playing in the midst of a 4-game series with San Francisco. Then they have 3 with the Dodgers and then 3 more with San Francisco. So are they going to just roll the table there? No, they lost the other night. They're going to lose some ground right now to the Dodgers.
Aaron Heilman is up in the Cubs bullpen, and a good stop in the dirt by Soto. And Furcal on at first base, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, the Rockies and the Giants won last night, are 1 game behind Colorado for the wild card lead. Do you think San Francisco is a bigger threat?
I think, I don't know if they're a bigger threat. They've got the better rotation, but you look at that September schedule for the San Francisco Giants, and it is the toughest one around in the National League.
Lilly with a long look at Furcal, who has a good lead, and the fastball fouled at the plate. Still 1-2.
You talk about the schedules. The Dodgers schedule in September, they play only 6 games against teams over 500, and those 6 games are against the Giants. The Rockies, they stay on the West Coast. They have a lot of games at home. But the Giants, they're playing tough teams. I want to say 19 or 20 games, again, out of the 27 or 28 against teams that are 500 or above.
Should be exciting September coming up in the final month of the season in every race, and of course the wild card races as well. Yankees been very strong in the American League, clearly the best by far, and the Dodgers and the Phillies, and a great story in St. Louis with the Cardinals not expected to be where they are. Toss to first base, and getting back is Furcal.
Well, and that's the thing that's interesting about the National League. I mean, you could make a case for 3 or 4 different clubs to represent the National League in the World Series.
Lilly's 1-2 pitch. The runner doesn't go, and Pierre lifts it in the air. Shortstop Aaron Miles on the outfield grass. Not an easy sky today with the sunshine for these players. And Pierre is retired for out number 2. This season, stay connected to MLB on Fox by following us on Twitter. Go to twitter.com/MLB on Fox. And Fox Sports is now on both MySpace and Facebook. Get breaking news, notes, video clips, and more. Just go to myspace.com/Fox Sports or facebook.com/Fox Sports and join the community. Right now we'll join Manny Ramirez with 2 out and a runner at first base. Dodgers up 2-0. Manny is bounced out and flied out. Manny Ramirez was 1 for 10 before the series opener. He had 3 hits, a double and 2 runs scored on Thursday, and had a hit last night. Take strike 1 here.
Well, and that's the thing. Manny right now is not real hot. You know, he'll have his occasional game where he gets a few hits, but still hasn't got into that groove. But again, the type of groove that he was in last year, I mean, that's almost once in a career.
Throw to first base for a call, gets back. And of course, one of the gauges to Manny Ramirez and how well he's on his game at the plate is if he's hitting the ball to right center field and going with the pitch and not trying to pull, which I guess you could say that about most sluggers.
You can, but I think in his last at bat, it was really illustrated. He pulls a ball foul 10 miles and then hits a ball to right center, but it was off the end of the bat. He didn't stay on it, still pulled off of it. It's one thing to hit the ball to right center. It's another thing to drive it. And I think, again, as Joe Torre told us before the game, it just felt like Manny was just still pulling off a little bit and not thinking about going up the middle. But Manny, I mean, he's such a great hitter that, one at bat, he might not look real good. And next at bat, he's got everything figured out.
2 down here in the Dodgers 6th for Call with a 1-out single. And after Pierre popped up, Lilly facing Manny Ramirez, going inside on him. Of course, that has to be the recipe for any good pitcher against a good hitter, is to be able to get inside.
Well, you've got to go inside, and you've got to go inside where, again, if Manny is able to keep his hands and get the barrel of the bat to the ball, he's only going to hit it foul, so you don't get hurt as a pitcher. The problem is when you try to go inside and you miss an inch or 2 over the plate, you're staring at a ball in the seats.
1-1 breaking pitch, and Manny fouls it off. 1-2 to Ramirez.
Well, and see, you talk about it, Dick. You just mentioned going inside. He goes hard inside and then comes back with a slow breaking ball right there. Manny just off the end of the bat, out in front a little bit. And that's the thing that makes Lilly so good, is his ability to change speeds. I mean, the differential is 20-25 miles an hour on a fastball and an off-speed pitch.
Lilly might have thought he got too much of the plate on that last pitch.
But still, but because of the change of the speed, he was able to get away with it.
And Manny Ramirez strikes out to end the inning. 5 strikeouts now for Ted Lilly. And we'll return to Los Angeles after a word from your local Fox station. official body wash of Major League Baseball. To the 7th inning we go. Jeff Baker against Charlie Hager, and a fly ball hit to right center will drop for a base hit. Pierre cuts it off, and Baker is on with a leadoff single in the 7th inning. Time now for Taco Bell. Bring the heat. Bring the heat. What about?
Well, you see,
Hager.
Charlie Hager throwing and Ted Lilly. Now, I'm guessing that knuckleball was not 80, 94, 90, and 92. We're just probably talking about the heat on that volcano taco. But Charlie Hager doing it with deception. Ted Lilly, again, moving the ball around the plate and has really pitched a great ball game. Just 2 pitches he left over the plate.
Against the Cardinals, they were saying that his knuckleball went around 74, 75 miles an hour as Rick Honeycutt is out to settle down his pitcher.
Well, and the problem with when you have a knuckleball pitcher, again, anybody can hit one out of the park against this guy. And I say that because the ball will just hang. And that's why you got to give a knuckleball guy 3, 4, 5 runs where it's not just a guy get on first and then one swing of the bat. All the great work he's done is, it's a 2-2 ball game. And that's where you run into trouble or you walk the plank when you have a knuckleball pitcher.
Dodgers not taking any chances. Hong-Chi Kuo is up in their bullpen. Here is Giovanni Soto. 0 for 2 has hit the ball solidly. Line to Hudson, who doubled off Baker for a double play back in the 2nd, and then hit a drive to right center field, and Matt Kemp made an outstanding running catch.
Well, and this is where a guy like Joe Torre, he's got a tough decision right now. Charlie Hager has been pitching great. He's earned the right to go out there and continue to pitch. But again, you're going, man, if he just hangs one right here, we're right back at tie game.
And there's a ball hit out to center field. Juan Pierre going back to make the catch on the edge of the warning track. Baker goes back to first, and there's one gone in the 7th. Remember, Hager pitched 7 innings against the Cardinals on Monday. So with 1 out, Aaron Miles coming up to the plate as we check in with Chris Rose.
Yeah, guys, in between innings, Lou Piniella started to show a little bit of that frustration that we've kind of been wondering, well, where has it been? He ran over to me and said, hey, you see what I'm talking about? And what he was talking about was our pregame meeting that the 3 of us had with the Cubs skipper, in which he basically taught math class. He said that at home, we're averaging about 5 runs per game. We're giving up about 3.6. On the road, we're scoring about 3.6. And giving up about 4.5 runs per game. So he was sitting out there doing all sorts of math equations and figuring out and basically saying, our offense isn't getting it done away from home.
That's the story, no question about it, and it's very frustrating for a team that won 97 games last year, Chris, and lost in the divisional series, and this year favored to win again, and now trailing the Cardinals by 7 games, and now the Cardinals get John Smoltz, an interesting pickup after being released by the Red Sox.
Well, I think Smoltz going to the Cardinals, it fills a couple of voids. You put him in that 5th spot. The other day, Mitchell Boggs had a start for the Cardinals. John Smoltz will get one now. And, when you get to close to the postseason, at the end of the year, you can fit him in the bullpen. So really, he's going to be a versatile guy. I think it's a great acquisition. The Cardinals have nothing to lose.
I don't think it ever hurts to go to a team that has Dave Duncan as your pitching coach.
No, you're exactly right. You've seen what he's done for a lot of guys that looked like they were on their way out.
2-1 pitch to Miles, fouls it off, and it's 2-2 to Aaron Miles. Jeff Baker with a leadoff single, and we've seen that before for the Cubs today. Sam Fuld led off with a walk in the 1st inning. Derek Lee singled to start the 4th, and now Baker singles here in the 8th inning. Soto retired. 5 men have been left on base by the Cubs, who have averaged 2 runs a game in their last 5, and a foul ball off the plate, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the thing too that's tough when you're an offensive player on a team like the Cubs right now, where you are struggling, is that when you get up in a situation where there is a runner on, you start to try harder. And in this game, especially at this level, the more relaxed you are, just in anything, the better you usually will perform. And what it does is it almost snowballs, it compounds itself, and the situation gets worse.
And Aaron Miles strikes out for out number 2. Big strikeout number 7 for Charlie Hager. So there are 2 down, and we're going to see a pinch hitter coming up for the Cubs. Kevin Gregg has joined Aaron Heilman in the Cubs bullpen. Gregg, of course, lost his job as the closer for the Cubs this week. Carlos Marmol has replaced him. And Mike Fontenot will come up to bat for Ted Lilly.
Attention, please. For the Cubs, pinch hitting, number 17, Mike Fontenot.
So 2 out, a runner at first base, and Fontenot, who is 1 for 13 with an RBI as a pinch hitter for the Cubs, coming up.
Yeah, not your prototypical pinch hitter, but again, almost a sacrificial lamb right here. When you've got 2 outs, a runner on first, you're facing a knuckleball pitcher.
9 homers, 36 runs batted in, hitting .224, taking ball 1. Fontenot hit .305 last year, playing in 119 games. But he has slumped after the All-Star game. Fly ball to left field. Manny Ramirez coming over. Has a play, makes the catch to retire the side. Leadoff single is wasted. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. The Dodgers still lead the Cubs 2-0. Gillette Hydra Scrub Body Wash, a powerful clean without dry skin. And is sponsored by Hyundai. Now, Hyundai Assurance can even lower your price at the pump. And by Avodart. And we have a new pitcher for the Cubs, Aaron Heilman. Is going to be the new pitcher, replacing Ted Lilly, who worked 6 innings, allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, did not walk a batter, struck out 5, but allowed the 2 home runs to give the Dodgers the lead by Matt Kemp and Casey Blake, and hit a batter. And there is the 30-year-old native of Logansport, Indiana, in his 7th year, his first with the Cubs. Aaron Heilman, 2-3 with a 4.55 ERA. It's our Zantac relief pitcher profile. Heartburn, attack it, Zantac.
Well, you know, the pitching's been pretty decent for the Cubs. I mean, the closer role, obviously, you know, Kevin Gregg has struggled, but getting to that closer, they've been pretty decent. You know, again, you talk about the Cubs' trouble and why they're where they're at right now, and you know, it's been the offense. I mean, you go any other route. The bottom line is offensively they haven't lived up to what they had hoped to have this year. And, you know, some guys haven't had seasons. But all that being said, they still have a chance.
And speaking of pitchers, Eric Karros, Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, congratulates Charlie Hager, today's MLB Clutch Performer of the Game, presented by Pepsi. Learn more about the MLB Clutch Performer of the Month award at PepsiClutch.com. What a performance today.
Well, you know, it really was. And again, now, this is the second straight solid performance. And, you know, I mean, if you could throw a guy like a Charlie Hager, a knuckleballer, into your rotation, somebody that's going to go out and change the look for the opposing team when they face you in a series, I mean, that's a whole new dimension. And, you know, that's something that right now the Dodgers, you know, they may have found a diamond in the rough, at least for the next month and a half.
7 scoreless innings. And for Hager, who gave up those 2 home runs to Pujols and Keel in the losing 3-2 effort on Monday, kept the ball in the ballpark, to say the least, limiting the Cubs to 3 singles. And really was especially tough when the Cubs had runners at scoring position, which they did when he was on the mound. They left 6 men on base. So Casey Blake leading off against Aaron Heilman in the Dodgers' 7th, takes strike 1. Blake homered his last time up, his 15th of the year. Now has driven in 69 runs. And that gave the Dodgers their insurance run. That was back on the 4th. 1 for 2. And the count is 1-1. There you see bees out there, and the fans waving them away as only they can on this humid afternoon in Southern California. Fastball on the inside corner, 1-2.
Doesn't that usually agitate them? Gets them a little more riled up? I think the best thing to do, you just evacuate.
Kind of run for cover has been my game plan when I've encompassed bees. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Blake. Either that or just stay calm, don't move, don't make a motion. Easy for us to give advice on how to handle the bees. Chris.
You guys want me to go out there and file a report?
I thought you'd be there by now.
Put your jacket on and get out there.
Chris, what's taking you so long?
That's true.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, actually, I'm hanging near the Cubs dugout in case Lou wants me to pinch hit.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, sharply hit to Aaron Miles. And Blake is retired, 1 away here in the 7th inning, and that'll bring up Matt Kemp. Kemp with the home run in the 2nd inning. To this point has been the only run the Dodgers have needed today.
Yeah, you know, and I think, you know, with Matt Kemp coming to the plate, you know, this guy really, you know, doesn't receive the national attention that he deserves. You're talking about one of the best young ball players in the game right now, and he's doing it, you know, with a batting average defensively. He plays as good a center field as anybody. He runs the bases well. Speed, power is unparalleled on this Dodger ball club. You know, he just doesn't do it with the consistency that he probably will do in the future. But man, oh man, tell you what, I'd like to be Matt Kemp right now with the future that he has ahead of him here in this Dodger organization.
They have a lot of players in that category that are all of the same age. There's a sharply hit ball up the middle by Kemp, his 2nd hit of the game and the 4th hit of the game for the Dodgers. And it comes with 1 out. And this game-changing play brought to you by Holiday Inn. Signs of change are everywhere. More with Matt Kemp, our subject.
Well, on this ball that Matt Kemp hits, I'm not sure. It may have left the entire stadium. But again, that's talking about, you know, showing, I should say, the power that he has. You know, he leads this team in stolen bases as well, or up there, I should say, with Juan Pierre.
Actually, he's tied for 3rd in the league with 26. So there you talk about an all-round player.
Well, he does. You know, and you stand next to this guy. I mean, he's my size. You know,
you're a big man.
And I tell you what, I don't run, and I can't run, never could run, and that's the thing that, you know, the power and the speed, the athleticism that Matt Kemp has.
Well, they estimate the home run by Kemp is 449 feet, which is a prodigious wallop, to say the least. There he is, taking the lead at first with 1 out, and the Dodgers 7th. Dodgers lead at 2-0, trying to make it 3 in a row over the Cubs. And that's where he hit it. Getting back is Kemp. And of course, a perfect situation for the Dodgers to have something going on with a 2-0 lead. A good base runner on, and a man who can handle the bat in Orlando Hudson. Dodgers had Quo warming up earlier. They have Jonathan Broxton now in their bullpen. Aaron Heilman again over to first. Cubs have answered that with the left-hander John Grabo in their pen.
See the look at the swarm out there of bees. Man.
And there goes Kemp, and there's the pitch out and the throw, and they've got him in a rundown. Almost lost his footing, did Matt Kemp. Doing a good job of staying in it and finally tagged out. So the Cubs read it perfectly. The pitch out, and Kemp was off and is out on a rundown for out number 2.
Well, you almost wonder if there was a play there, if it was a hit and run or something like that. Obviously, the Cubs recognize it. The Matt Kemp gets in a rundown. Now, while it's great to sit back and say, oh, what hustle, and oh, boy, that was great. He drew a bunch of throws. The last thing you want to see if you're a Dodger fan right there is somebody pulling a hamstring, somebody twisting an ankle, and that's where, after 2 throws, that's when you say, look, you know what? Better to be ready for the next month and a half than to leave it all out on this rundown right here.
2-0 to Hudson, who lifts a fly ball to left field. And that'll be out number 3. And the interesting thing about that rundown, 2-6-3-4-6-1. Aaron Heilman put the tag on Kemp. We go to the 8th. That's a sidebar story to this game. Regardless of what happens, is the fact that the bees, and there you see some security people over there. I haven't seen, I don't know if anyone has really been stung or if there's been a problem there, because you think if somebody were stung and they would be yelling, it would be something that other people would catch on.
Well, and remember earlier in the year, prior to a game we did in San Diego, the people at Petco had to take care of a swarm of bees.
45-minute delay.
Yeah.
Sam Fuld. And if we were to use puns, we would say he has stung the Dodgers today with a couple of outstanding defensive plays, but we won't go there.
Yeah, don't use that.
He's been on base twice and has a couple of stolen bases, takes up high. So Charlie Hager working the 8th inning, and he has thrown now 106 pitches and leading 2-0. In the top of the order facing him now, and Fuld, and it's a 3-2 count. Now the Cubs trying to get something going here, and they've had their opportunities. There is Jonathan Broxton warming up. Sam Fuld from Durham, New Hampshire. Awaits the 3-2 pitch, and he's on. So he walked to start the game for the Cubs in the first inning. Stole a base and was left there. And now he walks to start the 8th inning, and the tying run comes to the plate in Milton Bradley. And Joe Torre is going to go to the mound and make a move. So Jonathan Broxton will come in here in the 8th inning with nobody out, a runner at first, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. We'll return in a moment. Hager's mother and sister flew in from Michigan for the game, and what a thrill it had to be for them as well, as Hager striking out seven scoreless innings, walking full, and now Milton Bradley facing Jonathan Broxton, who earned his 27th save last night, and here he is again.
Well, he is a closer, and you wonder why is he in the 8th inning, but really for me, I'm looking at it, George Sherrill is the left-handed 8th inning guy. You can't really bring him in this situation, because then you make Milton Bradley hit from the right side, which is his better side, followed by Derek Lee, Aramis Ramirez. So that's 3 right-handers that can hit the ball out of the park. So bring Broxton in now, let him face these tough hitters. If he has enough energy, you run him out for the 9th. If not, You give the ball to Mr. Sherrill.
Remember, Bradley was batting right-handed against the knuckleballer right-handed because he's a .319 right-handed hitter versus .226 as he is from the left side. Broxton's pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-2.
Well, this is the interesting thing and always the argument. You get the save if you throw the ninth inning, you come in. But sometimes the tougher part of the lineup where the game is really decided in maybe the 7th or 8th inning when you're facing the heart of the opposing team's lineup.
As opposed to what could be the bottom third if things work out for the Dodgers pitching-wise. The pitch outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bradley with Derek Lee on deck. Bradley is 0 for 1 against Broxton. Lee 2 for 7. But Bradley, the tying run at the plate with nobody out here in the 8th inning. Dodgers in front, 2-0 over the Cubs, trying to make it 3 in a row over the Chicagoans. And strike 3. Bradley goes down. Big strikeout, and here is the in-game box score for the Cubs, brought to you by Hyundai, introducing the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe.
Well, you just don't see a lot there. You see a one for, some walks. But if you notice, no extra base hits at all for the Cubs. A couple of singles, 2 walks. I mean, again, as Lou Piniella told us before the game, the offense has basically just disappeared.
They have left 6 on base today. Here's Derek Lee, who has one of the 3 Cub hits, all of which were singles. In the dirt, ball 1. Jonathan Broxton from Waynesboro, Georgia, approaching 300 pounds, is 6'4". This is his 55th appearance, and of course at this time of year, he's laboring.
Well, he's laboring, and I think it's more mental fatigue than it is physical. And I think that's what Joe Torre mentioned to us earlier. Is there were some physical issues, around the All-Star break. A big toe, right big toe, has been giving him some problems. But right now, it's you're in dog. You can't really see the end of the year yet.
Fly ball to right field. Matt Kemp has a play and loses the ball. And it falls right near him. And going to third will be Sam Fuld. And into second base goes Derek Lee as Matt Kemp lost the ball in the sun. Ducked away, fearing it might hit him. And it bounced on the warning track, and now the Cubs have the tying runs in scoring position.
Well, I can tell you, playing on the right side of the field in day games at Dodger Stadium, any type of pop-up or fly ball, very easy to lose in the sun. And you can see Matt Kemp tries to shield the sun with his glove. He has the sunglasses down. Now remember, Matt Kemp predominantly plays center field for this Dodger ball club. Today he's in right field. Different angle, looking at the sun, doesn't have to shield it. It just, right there, it's just a ball lost in the sun.
And a tough development for the Dodgers. 1 out, runners at second and third. Aramis Ramirez singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Dodgers lead 2-0. Cubs have a runner at third for the first time today. And the first pitch is in for a strike. Ramirez, 4 for 4. In his career against Jonathan Broxton.
Well, you can bet right now that Broxton will stay away. Breaking ball, hard stuff away. Not going to try to go inside, not going to leave anything over the plate.
Fuld is at third. Derek Lee with the lead at second. And a line drive caught by Loretta at first for the second out. And you talk about a game of inches. You get a ball that's hit a little to the right of Loretta, a base hit, and this game is tied, but Loretta snares it for out number 2.
Well, again, the Dodgers going away. Ramirez going with the pitch, hits the ball right to Loretta. So again, you say, well, bad luck right there. But again, the Derek Lee fly ball ends up a double. So, as they say, it all evens out.
It does.
I'll tell you what, Aramis Ramirez isn't saying that right now.
Here's Kosuke Fukudome, 0 for 3, has struck out twice and grounded out. And facing Broxton, Fukudome 1 for 2 against Jonathan Broxton. Big cut and a miss, strike 1. So the Dodgers and Broxton trying to pitch out of a jam that was punctuated by a bad break with Matt Kemp losing a fly ball in the sun in right field. Now today, the Cubs are 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, 2 for 17 in the series, which just underscores Lou Piniella's frustration. Runners with their leads from second and third. In tight, ball gets away, no advance. As Ausmus does a neat job, and the count 1-1.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what, Wally Bell, the home plate umpire, did a nice job right there. This ball gets by Brad Ausmus. Now watch it, it hits the umpire's right leg, and if it doesn't hit his right leg, that ball goes to the backstop. The Cubs score a run. So now 2-1. Good breaks for the Dodgers right now this inning.
This is an inning of breaks. There's no question about it. And Jonathan Broxton just trying to get out of this and preserve a 2-0 Dodger lead into the bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs have John Grabo and Kevin Gray in their bullpen. And Fukudome trying to make something happen. He has 45 runs batted in on the season. Jeff Baker, a right-handed batter, is on deck. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-2. And there's the crowd looking for Broxton to finish off Fukudome.
See Charlie Hager there watching intently. You know, Broxton's shown that fastball away, and then Fukudome has swung over that slider down and in as long as he gets it. And I say he, Broxton gets it in far enough to Fukudome.
There we go again. Low. And the crowd wanted it, and Broxton wanted it, and a 3-2 count now to Fukudome.
Now, I'm not really sure where that pitch is. It gets the heart of the plate. It doesn't hit the spot that Brad Ausmus sets up. And so maybe that confuses Wally Bell. But again, you know, sometimes guys just miss pitches, and it happens. Tied up 2-2 and breaks this inning. Cubs 2, Dodgers 2.
Strike 3, and he gets out of it. Major League Baseball road trips. By Progressive Insurance, the freedom to name your price. And by Olive Garden, when you're here, your family. And let's take a look at the perhaps defining moment of this game.
Yeah, it's a strike 3 to Kosuke Fukudome. It's that slider hard and in. Very tough for the left-handed hitter to catch up to.
Mark Loretta takes a strike as the Dodgers come up in the 8th inning against Aaron Heilman. Loretta robbed of extra bases by one of the 2 great catches by Sam Fuld in left field by the Cubs. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Both times Loretta has fly to left field as Aaron Heilman, in relief of Ted Lilly, who worked 6 innings and allowed both Dodger runs, both coming on home runs by Matt Kemp in the 2nd and Casey Blake in the 3rd. Rockies and the Giants play tonight, and the Dodgers would like to say, well, we won our game. Let's see who's going to survive in tonight's battle. And slow hit bounding ball going to be difficult, and it's going to be a base hit for Loretta. So a well-placed ground ball. You couldn't roll it any better than Mark Loretta did, and he reaches safe on an infield hit to start the 8th inning.
Well, in this play right here, as a first baseman, you always go after the ball. The pitcher goes after the ball. If he doesn't get it, he continues on to first base. Then he receives the throw from the first baseman. But the bottom line is you've got to pick the ball up or field the ball before you can throw it over to first base. Again, that's a situation. First baseman goes to get the ball. Pitcher, if he doesn't get it, continue on to first, get the toss from the first baseman.
And here's Brad Ausmus, 0 for 2. And we've been showing Sam Fuld's second superb catch. Great catch, really. His first one was pretty good against the wall in left center, robbing Brad Ausmus of extra bases. He is 0 for 2 on the day. By the way, George Sherrill is throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Now, Broxton threw 14 pitches last night and picking up the save, and 14 again today in working the 8th inning, coming in with 1 on and none out. Ausmus with a deadened bunt, a beauty, and Heilman's only play is to Baker covering. So the sacrifice 1-4, and that's textbook bunting by Ausmus right there. And here is the in-game box score for the Dodgers, brought to you by Hyundai, introducing the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe.
Well, you see the big blast, Casey Blake and Matt Kemp hitting one almost 450 feet. That's really been the extent of the Dodger offense. And then my man down at the bottom, Charlie Hager, 0 for 2. He left with a 2-0 lead as he shut out the Cubs for 7 innings.
And we're going to have the pinch hitter for the pitcher spot for Broxton as Lou Piniella goes to the mound. Tony Abreu will be batting as Lou makes the slow walk. And
well, I can tell you what, he will not pull a muscle going out there at that speed. Wow.
Let's see, he didn't shave and he didn't work out much. He's gone to the mound. And let's see, if he were to do a double switch, he would have to go to the umpire first.
Yeah, it's technically too late.
If you're going to make a double switch, you've got to come out and go right to the umpire first and not to the mound. But we're going to take a break. As you see, Grabo and Greg the righty in the bullpen, will sort this one out when we return. Beyond.com. New Cubs pitcher is John Grabo, the third of the day, and the left-hander who pitched the third of an inning last night will be facing the pinch hitter Tony Abreu, who was recalled on Wednesday from Albuquerque, the Dodgers AAA farm club. First pitch outside, ball one, and he was recalled when Hiroki Kuroda went on the DL. Kuroda, you remember, a week ago was hit in the helmet. A very scary shot back to the mound. Suffered a mild concussion. There goes the runner to third, and the throw safe. Mark Loretta, not your average speedster, but he got a good jump, and he caught John Grabo and stole third.
No, he stole that with his head, not his legs. Grabo not even paying attention at all. Mark Loretta gets a running lead, and then look at the slide. Outer part of the bag, head first, the furthest possible point away for Ramirez to make the tag. Great job by a veteran ball player.
And Grabo is behind to the pinch hitter Abreu, 3 balls and no strikes. Grabo came over from Pittsburgh along with Tom Gorzolani, who pitched Thursday, or Wednesday I should say, for the Cubs, and walked. Abreu draws a 4-pitch walk, and now runners at first and third with 1 out. And right now on DirecTV Game Break, here's Chris Rose.
All right, guys, from a walk to guys that are trotting up in Boston. Remember, Big Papi didn't hit his first homer of the year till May 20th. He's now got 20. That's the 8th straight season. AJ Burnett's like, why? Why are you throwing him that one? I don't know why they're throwing Kevin Youkilis that one either. His second homer of the day, 22 on the year. It's 12-zip. Boston. Remember to follow your favorite out-of-market team only on DirecTV. Dick?
Thank you, Chris. That's after losing 20-11 last night. Here's Rafael Furcal. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Jeff Baker at second base, and you can't take anything for granted. Loretta going back to third base. The way the sun has affected the fielders today, but there are 2 down here in the Dodger eighth.
Yeah, obviously not a good at-bat by Rafael Furcal. You got runners at first and third. You can be patient. The pitcher is the one that's in trouble. As a hitter, you've got to just temper that aggressiveness. Quit saying, well, I've got that run. It's coming in. Just be patient up there. Let it happen. He didn't do it. Didn't get the run in.
So Juan Pierre, 0 for 2, and was hit by a pitch. Runners at first and third with 2 down in the 8th inning. Dodgers leading 2-0, so those 2 home runs that stood up throughout the game, a call strike to Pierre. Kemp and Blake in the 2nd and 4th innings respectively, and there is George Sherrill, who will come on to pitch the 9th. Check swing and a ball, 1 strike. By the way, that stolen base by Loretta, and aptly put by my partner, is done with his head, not his legs, was his first stolen base since 07.
So he was due, I guess. That's it, huh?
You can always say that. Yeah. Fastball on the corner, 1-2 to Pierre. Looking ahead to the Cubs, in the 9th inning, it'll be Jeff Baker, Giovanni Soto, and Aaron Miles, the scheduled hitters, 6, 7, and 8. Exactly what you were talking about the 8th inning. May have been the key inning.
Yeah, you know, I've got to believe we're going to see a Ryan Theriot sighting or an Alfonso Soriano sighting. I'd be shocked if neither one of those guys got an opportunity to hit, but we'll see.
Soriano benched because of lack of production lately. There he is, and Theriot with a sprained knee. As a ball, says Wally Bell, loud for everyone to hear. And the count is full 3-2. 1 pitch away from loading him up for Manny Ramirez. Alan Trammell, the great Tigers shortstop, now the bench coach for Lou Piniella, looking on.
Yeah, you see, Lou didn't like that last call at all. He's asking Wally Bell where that was.
Abreu will be off. And the pitch, strike 3, a breaking ball on the inside corner. And that'll do it. The Dodgers are retired. Leave runners at the corners. We go to the 9th with the Dodgers up 2-0. The Dodgers lead 2-0, and Sherrill pitched last night in the 8th inning and earned a hole, so it's a reverse of last night when Sherrill pitched the 8th and Broxton the 9th. They go the other way tonight. And this is the 11th appearance for the Dodgers, and a great pickup acquired from the Orioles, where he had 20 saves and 23 save opportunities. And the first pitch is 1-0 to Jeff Baker. So there you see Sherrill and Broxton.
Well, and you look at that, the batting average against, 225 for Sherrill, Broxton 190. But it'll be interesting to see how Sherrill does, getting an opportunity to close.
Defensive moves for the Dodgers in the 9th inning, as Andre Ethier has moved to right field. Matt Kemp now in center. So there they are, Kemp and Ethier. There's a strike, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to Baker, who was 1 for 2, single and a walk, struck out his other appearance. So the 32-year-old George Sherrill from Memphis, Tennessee. And the pitch is outside. Fouls it back. Full count, 3-2. George Sherrill looking for his first save in a Dodger uniform. Gave up only 2 runs in 2 months from May 1st to June the 30th, and an ERA of 0.82. Trying to get Baker to start the 9th inning. Stays alive, does Baker, gets a piece of it.
Well, and I think a lot of people in baseball, thought the Dodgers were going to go out and acquire a starter, or at least be in the market for one. And, of course they were, but Ned Colletti was able to land George Sherrill a closer that he could put in that setup role, really bolster the entire pitching staff.
Fastball thrown by Baker, strike 1, or strike out number 1 in the 9th inning. And Soto will come to the plate. Producer of today's game is Jeff Gowen. The director is Jim Lynch. The associate director, Eric Billigmeyer. And the broadcast associate, Matt Saldana. Our technical producer, Eric Steinberg. Our technical director, Simon Benazra. Pre-game show was produced by Don Bowie. Highlights coordinator, Janice Kazaza. A lot of Z's in these credits today. And the first pitch to Soto misses ball 1. The technical supervisor is Jack Simmons. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown, and the executive producers are David Hill and Ed Gorin. And the Dodgers trying to protect the 2-0 lead here in the 9th inning. Fouled away, 1-1 to Soto, who was 0 for 3 on the day. So the Cubs once again cannot manage an offense, and a frustrating day it is for them against the knuckleballer Charlie Hager, who worked 7 innings in his Dodger debut on Monday, and 7 scoreless innings this time, striking out 7. And Charlie Hager, who learned to throw the knuckleball by playing catch with his older brother Greg, I guess learned to throw that pitch effectively. 2 balls and a strike to the Cubs catcher. Up the middle, base hit. So Giovanni Soto giving the Cubs some hope here with their 5th hit of the game. 4 singles. The only extra base hit was Derek Lee's double last inning, and that will bring up Aaron Miles. And now they're going to have a pinch hitter come up. Jake Fox will bat for Miles. As a pinch hitter, Fox hitting .313, and you called it.
Well, I thought there'd be some guys coming to the plate that would hit the ball out of the ballpark. And right now,
Soriano on deck.
Yes, so Soriano on deck. You got Fox right now. I mean, Luke Pinilla's not pulling any punches. He's looking for a ball that needs to land in the seats.
Strike to Fox. Hitting .288 with 8 homers and 32 runs batted in. And as we showed you, very effective with 3 RBIs as a pinch hitter, 5 for 16. Sherrill's breaking ball is in for strike 2, 0-2. So Jake Fox called up from AAA at the end of May. 27-year-old versatile infielder and outfielder. Has the count, no balls, 2 strikes, checks a swing. And it's 1-2. So the tying run at the plate. And we have said that many times for the Cubs in the latter stages of this game. Fox has 8 home runs. Soriano with 19. And there is strike 3. And Fox goes down, out number 2. And now it'll be Alfonso Soriano coming up, the last hope for the Cubs.
Yeah, you know, and right now, as a Dodger catcher, as the pitcher George Sherrill on the mound, when you're facing Soriano, right now the way he's swinging the bat, you just don't want to run into his swing. If you're going to pitch to him, you've got to stay away, throw breaking stuff away. Don't even set up anywhere near the middle of the plate. Get on the outer part and stay there.
2 down, runner at first base. And the first pitch, ball 1. Soto the runner at first. And now time called, and Ausmus goes to the mound to talk to George Sherrill. Charlie Hager started, worked 7+ innings, did not allow a run. Jonathan Broxton with an impressive 8th inning. Gave up a double to Derek Lee, but got Fukudome on strikes to end the threat. Now Sherrill. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, missing. Close.
Yeah, both pitches right there, very close. And Soriano laying off both of those pitches.
There is Ryan Terrio. If Soriano can keep it alive, he will come up to bat. Breaking ball in for strike 2. Strike 1, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fastball in there. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure what Soriano's plan is right here. He's had 4 pitches and hasn't taken his bat off the shoulder once. 3 of those fastballs that were all very hittable.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out. And Soriano gets a piece of it back on the screen.
Well, good job by Brad Ausmus calling for something out of the zone. I mean, this is where you've got to use Soriano's aggressiveness against him. Don't throw a strike, but hope that Soriano goes after the pitch.
Crowd on its feet. It's a ball. Breaking pitch. And checking with the first base umpire, Mark Carlson. Soriano did not swing. So the count is full.
You see the breaking ball. Soriano does a good job of holding up. But again, right here, I don't throw a strike. I think I gamble and say Soriano has got it in his mind that he's going to swing right now. Throw something out of the zone.
Not holding Soto on in the foul at the plate. Barely getting a piece of it was the pinch hitter Soriano. And going back to first is Giovanni Soto. George Sherrill trying to pick up his first save in a Dodger uniform. Struck out Jeff Baker to start the ninth. Soto singled sharply up the middle. And then the pinch hitter, Jake Fox, struck out. And now the other pinch hitter, Soriano, fouls it off. So it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2 again. High ball 4, and Soriano draws the walk. And Soto moves to second, so the tying runs are on base with 2 away.
Really an excellent at-bat by Soriano. One of the few times, at least in the last couple of weeks, that he's shown any kind of patience or discipline, and ends up coaxing a walk and giving Ryan Theriot an opportunity to get the Cubs on the board.
0 for 3 as a pinch hitter this year is Ryan Theriot, as Soto is at second, Soriano at first. Time is called, and against George Sherrill, Theriot has been up once and has a base hit. There are numbers with runners in scoring position. And time called as an errant ball was thrown on the field. Two to nothing, the Dodgers lead, and time called, and once again, Ausmus going to the mound.
Yeah, a lot going on right now, and again, George Sherrill, his first opportunity to close for the Dodgers, and obviously he wants to do well. I mean, you get back to, well, he's closed a lot of games for the Orioles, and he had a lot of saves, but it's different now because you're closing meaningful games now. The games at Baltimore, they were big league games, but you're not competing for a division or the top of the division.
First pitch, ball 1. Ryan Theriot, who has moved into the leadoff spot in the order on August the 8th, when Soriano was knocked down to the 6th spot, trying to deliver as a pinch hitter here in the 9th inning. There's a call strike, 1-1.
I'll tell you, a little inconsistency right now at home plate with the umpire, Wally Bell. I mean, that last pitch and called the ball, then this one, there's a strike and almost identical. And as a hitter, you just don't know. And even as a pitcher, what's a strike, what's a ball?
Ball strike 2, 1-2. So now the Cubs are down to their last strike. Once again. 2-0 the Dodgers. Soto on at second, Soriano at first. Third straight pinch hitter for the Cubs in Theriot, and a time is called. And just in case, Ronald Belisario has begun to throw in the Dodger bullpen.
And you see the corners, both guys on the line, preventing a double.
That's outside. Count even 2-2.
As you mentioned, Dick, the Dodger bullpen moving around. Got Belisario there.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Foul out of play into the mezzanine. But George Sherrill, 32-year-old left-hander, starting the season with the Orioles. But you're absolutely right now, and everyone wants to be in a pennant race, and that's what he finds himself in here. Last night came in to hold the lead, and this afternoon looking to save the game. Three and two.
Well, again, I'll get back to it. It's a different animal. You're playing for something that matters. It's not just another baseball game. And the reality is George Sherrill has never had to close, games that mattered. That's just the reality of it. Not to say he can't do it, because he may do it right here.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. The runners go, and a ground ball hit to third base. Casey Blake throw to first in time, and the Dodgers win it by a score of 2-0. As Charlie Hager gets his first win in a Dodger uniform, George Sherrill gets his first save, and we'll return to Los Angeles for more post-game coverage right after these messages from your local Fox station.